Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're journeying back in time to the absolute shining star of the Pamphylia region, Aspendos. We're going to uncover the massive wealth, the mind-boggling engineering feats, and the enduring secrets of one of the ancient world's greatest marvels. Let's get right into it.
We've got a lot of ground to cover today. We'll kick things off with the city's history and its economic boom, then explore that famous theater and the aqueducts. After that, we'll map out the Acropolis in the lower city, check out some incredible excavated artifacts, and wrap up with the excavations happening right now.
Starting off with Part 1, History and Economic Wealth. Let's set the stage and see how Aspendos actually built its fortune.
So, how did this whole city even begin? Well, if you look at ancient tradition and Greek texts, they claim it was founded by colonists from Argos right after the Trojan War. But modern archaeological evidence, it tells a slightly different story. Local Anatolian coins show the city's original name was actually Eswidios, which strongly points to local Anatolian roots. It's like a giant historical puzzle, and honestly, we'll just let the evidence speak for itself here. But hey, regardless of who actually founded it, Aspendos sat on an absolute economic goldmine. We're talking fertile plains for agriculture, world-renowned cotton, expert horse breeding, and a super lucrative salt trade from nearby Lake Capria. They were actually so wealthy that they were one of the very first Pamphylian cities to mint their own silver coins. You've got to keep this in mind. This immense, overflowing wealth is the crucial foundation for the massive monuments we're about to explore. Now, the city's political control definitely shifted over the centuries, but the wealth, that stayed put. After Persian rule in the 5th century BC, it joined the Delian League in 469 BC. And you know, when Alexander the Great rolled up in 333 BC, the city smartly surrendered without a fight. Brilliant move, right? They completely avoided destruction. Eventually, by 133 BC, it smoothly transitioned into the Roman Republic. And that Roman transition ushered in the Pax Romana, or the Roman peace. For Aspendos, this was the absolute architectural and economic golden age. It was that perfect sweet spot, the era where the city finally had the unmatched stability and resources to build its most enduring masterpieces. Moving on to Part 2, we are getting into the real engineering marvels, the theater and the aqueducts. 15,000. That's not the capacity of a modern sports arena. That is the maximum viewer capacity of the Aspendos Theater. It's huge. Built back in the 2nd century AD by the local architect Xenon and completely funded by two incredibly wealthy brothers, it stands today as literally the world's best-preserved Roman theater. From its towering two-story seating right down to its magnificent stage building, this was the ultimate ancient entertainment hub. Okay, but here is a wild historical plot twist for you. Why is this specific Roman theater still so amazingly perfect today? Well, because in the 13th century, the Seljuk Sultan Alauddin Kikubad decided to use it as his own personal palace and caravanserai. So he repaired it and he covered the exterior in Seljuk plaster. In doing so, he accidentally created this unbelievable architectural armor that perfectly protected the original Roman stone from the elements for centuries. Talk about a lucky break. 19. That's how many kilometers of aqueducts they built to bring fresh, ice-cold water from the Taurus Mountains straight into the city. Designed by the clearly brilliant engineer Tiberius Claudius Italicus in the 2nd century AD, this massive system was the absolute lifeline for this booming metropolis. But here's the catch. They couldn't just build a simple downward slope. They actually had to get water from the flat plains all the way up to the high Acropolis hill. Their solution? The inverted siphon system. Water was channeled into these specialized capsule towers to build up massive hydraulic pressure. That pressure literally forced the water to shoot uphill through double pipes to the highest point of the city. I mean, it is an absolute masterclass in ancient physics. No way around it. All right, let's head into Section 3, the Acropolis and the lower city. We're going to look at the urban planning of Aspendos. So the city was heavily divided by function, kind of like modern zoning laws. Up high on the Acropolis, you had the administrative and religious core. The Agora, a massive basilica for legal matters, the Boulaterion for the city council, and these beautifully monumental fountains. Then down in the lower city, it was all about daily life and entertainment. That's where you find the stadion for racing, the massive Roman baths, and the necropolis. It's just a textbook example of highly effective Roman urban design. Dropping down to Section 4, Excavated Artifacts. Let's look at the actual treasures of Aspendos. The everyday items left behind, many of which are now sitting in the Antalya Museum, give us such a vivid, fascinating snapshot of life back then. We found incredibly detailed marble statues of Hermes and Roman emperors. The coins alone are amazing. They feature detailed stampings of ancient wrestlers and slingers. We even have medical tools used by ancient doctors, and the terracotta oil lamps that actually lit up the city at night. Looking at these artifacts, it really brings the citizens of Aspendos right back to life for us.
And finally, Section 5, Ongoing Excavations. Let's talk about the incredible people unearthing this past today.
Uncovering a city of this scale, it's been a very long journey. It all started back in the 1880s when an Austrian researcher named Lankarowski first mapped the architecture. Fast forward to the late 20th century, and the Antalya Museum was jumping in to conduct rescue excavations. Today, though, we're in a completely new era of systematic university digs, currently led by Professor Dr. V. Murat Solu. They are piecing together this giant ancient puzzle with incredible precision.
What you really need to take away from this is that the work at Aspendos is far, far from over. Right now, as we speak, archaeologists are digging deeper beneath the Roman ruins to uncover the older, pre-Roman layers of the city. They're meticulously documenting the Acropolis and fighting hard to preserve those ancient water systems. History is quite literally still being uncovered, layer by fascinating layer.
So, with so much engineering brilliance and monumental wealth already brought to the surface, we kind of have to ask ourselves, what other magnificent ancient secrets are still lying asleep beneath the unexcavated earth of Aspendos, just waiting for future generations to find? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and as always, stay curious.